What's up, wrestling fans, and especially our fan of the week, Hobbs Horror? I'm Jay here with the Horror King Gary,
What's your favorite scary movie?
and we got some news before we get into our Impact review, give our grades. We usually have an MVP, but this week we thought there were too many, or we kind of thought it was the whole Undead Realm thing. We'll get into that. Also got a few questions from social media. Got to start off with some big podcast news, though, as we are now available everywhere you listen to podcasts. You can just click the Podbean link in our description or search for Discuss Impact Wrestling. It would be very cool. Whoever, all of you can follow us. It would help us out. And let's get to the show. So I just watched it. I know Gary watched it last night, and I made it a thing not for us to speak about this because I'm curious what he thinks. I had a whole thing set up, but then I saw the Mickie versus Chelsea match, started out with them kissing, and I felt like we should discuss that early, at the very least, so maybe someone from Impact is listening, and we can see more of that in the future. What do you think, Gary?
It's not uncommon for Mickie James to kind of be controversial. I know there's been times in the WWE when she did things like that. I know at one point they were playing her up as like she was in love. Was it with Trish Stratus? I think.
Yeah, they mentioned Trish during the show, so I guess that was a thing that I missed.
Yeah, way back when. And then when I saw that, I was like, well, she's bringing out her inner Mickie from her earlier days in wrestling. I just wasn't expecting it. It was kind of hilarious as well.
Yeah, and it was also a hell of a match, I thought.
Oh, yeah.
And Chelsea got the win. I thought that was surprising. And afterwards, Mickie was like, she's going home. That's interesting. Does that mean WWE again? Maybe NWA? I don't know. Guess we'll find out.
Well, somebody had said online, I don't know if she was taking some kind of time off to go do something. I don't know if it was like a vacation.
I mean, she had a pretty crazy year, so
I'm pretty sure that's what somebody was saying. So I don't know if there's any truth to that, but anybody knows when we drop the video on YouTube or wherever you watch this or listen to this, just leave a comment.
Also, I'm curious if fans or you think, like, is it creepy? Like just two girls kissing at the start of a match? Like, is it unnecessary, or is it like what I think, kind of sex sells, so throw a little in there?
Well, I mean, I think it's a lot more acceptable now as opposed to way back when, It's just kind of shock value back then, I think, but like now it's kind of almost typical. I mean, I see a lot in today's cinema as well.
Well, I mean, I was kind of shocked just because like Impact doesn't do stuff like that, or at least recently. So I liked it. I like that. I liked. I loves, and I think we agree on this. I'm going to call it the Stranger Things like segment with Rosemary and Taya. It was, you can call it the Undead Realm, whatever. Rosemary mentioned how it like looks better now, so I think they kind of took from like Stranger Things and upgraded the, I don't know, whatever it is, CGI, whatever the hell it is. But you also like
the green and all that.
Yeah. So you like this too, right?
Oh yeah, I really liked it. I really felt like which was one of the Freddy or Jason movies is either Freddy versus Jason or like one of those later sequels in the series. I was just all but waiting for Jason to pop out for some reason. I was just waiting for the kind of thing happening. I just loved it, and I just was sold on it the rest of the vignette that they did of it.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. We didn't do our quick grade, so I'm going to give this a 9, which is mostly based on how much I loved this. But I mean, it was a great show overall. It was just another great show overall. How about your grade?
I'd give it about an 8.7. I noticed on, was it 411, they give it only an 8.3.
Yeah, they don't have the ability to go over 8.7 for Impact.
Yeah, I just didn't see how it was that low. It's been pretty much on par these last few tapings with me. Like, I haven't really hated anything in the show. Like past regimes, there was tapings that just kind of like, they just kind of went down your back, like you forgot about them as soon as you watched them.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, I don't want to say forgettable, but like everything now is kind of like clicking. There's nothing that's, you don't need to see. Just like very well written, and they're adding some new things, which I love, like this Stranger Things kind of thing. And like we said, and the opening match, this was Violent by Design losing to Motor City Machine Guns with Josh, and this whole thing was kind of interesting. First off, crazy talent in this match, probably underrated. I mean, you got one of the best tag teams ever. one of the best singles guys today in Josh, one of the best all time in EY, Big Joe, and my man Diener. I mean, pretty stacked. They lost to the Motor City Machine Guns with Josh here, mostly because EY was kind of on a different page, I think, right?
Yeah, he came down. He still had the same theme music as the other two, but he came down, I'd say probably 4 or 5 minutes later, maybe, and made his own way down to the ring. And Diener and Joe were just like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah, and I liked how that also led to, well, this is actually shady, I believe. Curious what you think about this, and fans. Scott D'Amore backstage. Saban, after this match, he said he wanted a shot against Josh. And Scott, which I thought was very shady, pointed out that Alex Shelley, his tag teammate, also deserves one. Am I crazy? Was there nothing shady about that?
Oh, there clearly was. I don't know if he's trying to cause a rift between the team. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's an excuse to try and break them up, because they have wrestled a lot as a tag team. I don't know, I just kind of feel like there was more to it behind what was being seen on camera, but I don't know. It should be a good matchup if it were to come to that. So
I totally agree with that. Okay, next up, we're going to get into a question after this one. But next up, I really love this, Macklin versus Storm. Macklin got the win. I'm not positive. Is he undefeated still?
No, I think you mean Macklin.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he lost to Ishii, I think.
Okay.
Recently, about a couple tapings ago.
That's his only. Well, if that's his only loss, that's kind of odd.
Yeah, I don't know if he might have lost on disqualification or something, or a count out one other time, but I mean, he's not been pinned off a lot as of late.
Okay, sorry, I'm trying to find our question, which I have right here. This comes. God damn it. Okay, before I get to that, Impact ratings. Did you happen to see these, Gary? Impact ratings were up. Sorry, the viewership was down, but the demo was back up to 0.03, which is nice. 0.02 was a kind of a fluke last week.
Yeah, I did see that, and I noticed too they came in at number 134, so they actually placed this week.
Oh, they didn't last week? I missed that.
Yeah, they didn't chart last week, but it's weird because they had more viewership last week, but their demo was down, but it didn't place.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get confused with all this stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a kind of dated. I seen somebody on. I ain't gonna shout out the site, but I don't know. He just was like putting a lot of shade on it. Oh, that's a bad rating, and it's like, have you seen the ratings that Access TV actually pulls in? They're lucky.
Nobody.
They're lucky if they do 100,000 on anything.
Yeah, no, nobody points out stuff like that. Sorry, before I get to this question, just want to mention they had a BTI flashback, which they then used to jump into a segment with Gujar after he beat Swinger on BTI, which I like for many reasons. It shows BTI, shows what happened on BTI, and it led to something on the show where he... Sorry.
Oh, yeah, he thought he had earned a title shot against Brian Myers.
Correct. Thank you, Gary.
Yeah.
But he did not, and Myers pretty much said,
he swerved him, if you will.
Yeah, I love Myers. Great character.
Oh, yeah. I've loved his character ever since especially since he's gotten the belt and like when he was doing his own commentary along ringside.
Okay, let me get to this before I lose it. This question comes from one of the greatest names ever, Classic Rock, Weed, and Impact. I really wish I can have that kind of life where I only worried about those things which I love, but I don't because I'm kind of crazy. But he says, as a longtime Impact fan, have you any idea what Impact is doing to improve their brand worth? Merchandising, a platform to attract more viewers, without more revenue to keep and bring in talent and seeing smaller promotions marketing better. Where is Impact? Asking for years. Like I kind of answered him on Twitter. That's a great question that I wish I had the answer to.
Well, I do think Impact Anthem and Impact are trying to do their best to cover all their bases because, like with the Gravitas Ventures accusation, they are maintaining a steady money flow through cable streaming. Like I say, that's going to bring revenue in. I know they're trying to work on a new some kind of streaming or TV deal. I'm sure that's gonna bring money.
I think that's the biggest thing, and that's what everyone wants. And I truly believe it's just a matter of time. Like, I don't think OVW could be talking to, what was it, Netflix? Was that the rumor?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I just don't see it either.
But I mean, that can't be a thing unless, you know what I mean? Unless Impact has been involved in similar conversations, I believe. So I think maybe they have a bunch of things they're like trying to choose between.
Well, too, I noticed tonight at the tapings, for every OVW person that bought tickets for their shows, Impact is either giving them half off or letting them in by showing a ticket stub. So
yeah, I think it was free tickets if you went to the OVW show.
Okay, so that proves right there might be some, kind of, like a theory to what's going on. Maybe OVW and Impact are both going to be on Netflix at some point, or
yeah, it could be. And I know there was a point where OVW and Impact weren't as connected as the world, as they made it seem, I think. But I think that has very recently changed, or maybe not very recently, but recently. And
there was a bit of I think there was a bit of rift there. I think at one point between like maybe Dixie and Al Snow. I think maybe.
Yeah. So that seems to be over. And I think I'm pretty sure Al runs it or owns it. I'm not positive about owning it, but
he bought it.
Yeah. Okay. And if you're not a fan, you should check it out for Mr. Pectacular, who used to be on Impact.
I was always a big fan of him.
One of the bromans. Yeah, that was a good time back then. Seems like a really good dude. Talked to him a few times on Twitter, and just seems like an awesome dude. Also incredible at marketing and promoting. So I mean, just speaking about marketing and promoting, everyone should look at what he does for himself because he's incredible. So
such a likable individual too. He's reaching out on Twitter to everybody, and he's plugging everything.
He's incredible at Twitter. Like, he should seriously run like a promotion when he retires or whatever. Okay, back to the show. And thank you, sir, very much for that question. Masha quickly defeated Tenille, which I think we all saw coming. I'm guessing Tenille's going to disappear for a bit now.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised that was going to be a total squash, though. I thought there might be some shenanigans with a little bit more with Madison Rain and then Giselle Shaw being out there. She just kind of acted like she didn't want nothing to do with what's her name?
Masha.
Yeah, she didn't want nothing to do with her. She just like had her back to her most of the time. Like, she wanted to make that eye contact with her to piss her off.
I was kind of thinking, like, why didn't they interfere? But yeah, that totally makes sense. They were all afraid of Masha, and that could lead to Tenille going on her own when she returns or something. Like, you didn't have my back or whatever.
Yeah, well, I noticed too. She changed her look too. Maybe it might indicate that she'll be breaking off with. I always forget the name of the team.
The Influence.
The Influence. Okay, that's it.
I think we both always mixed them up since the Inspiration.
Yeah, I think that's what throws me off.
Yeah, a little too similar names, but okay. How about the main event? And before the main event, we got crazy good guy face, kind of stone coldish Heath popping in and taking out Vincent before running off.
Yeah, I love this here. It kind of reminded me of a little bit of Sandman. Go up in WWE or ECW, WWE's version or whatever. And he kind of ran up to the top. And was like, I was kind of happy for him though, because like he was never given this opportunity to run with a ball, and where he arrived from. And I noticed he just had a birthday too today. And I think he turned 38.
Oh, that's interesting.
He's a lot older than I thought though. No knock on him there, but 38. He must have spent a lot of time in the WWE.
Yeah, I have no idea. Good one. I should have looked into that. But yeah, didn't even realize how old he was. Speaking of old age, but in a good way, PCO was not in the main event because Eddie held him out, and I'm really curious what the hell's going on with all that. I feel like I might have missed something.
Yeah. I don't know. All I know is I remember Heath hitting him with that kind of like, I don't know, like that back, like where he kind of like a stinger drop thing that he did. He dropped him on the top ramp, and like, I don't even know where PCO went after that. Did he go out back? He was at the top of the ramp and then he wasn't. I didn't know what was going on. It was a lot of chaos to start off. Honor No More didn't even know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, but they made a point to say that Eddie didn't want PCO in the match.
Yeah, and
So
there's been a dissension between Eddie and PCO, and I think at some point I think you're going to see Vincent taking PCO and going his other way.
I mean, I would love a kind of face psycho PCO if that's possible, like a good guy Mankind or Undertaker kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's fantastic. He's fantastic. My only minor gripe was he was not in this match, but Maria was here, who I'm pretty sure we talked about wasn't on the last 2 weeks, and we thought she wasn't at the tapings, but then she was on this one.
Oh yeah, she was all over this one. Especially like when in the main event. That was the main event, right?
Yeah, she even got the jump in the match there.
Yeah, I was thinking that wasn't the main event because I just feel like there was so much going on in this show. Like it felt like the card was a little longer than it the card was set up for more matches or something because it felt like there was more than a typical 4 or something.
Yeah, no, I thought I missed a match, but I think the matches were kind of long.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
This one was, I think it was like 20 minutes, the main event, or I don't know, with the entrances and everything. But how's it?
Help having the commercial break so much either during I felt like there was a lot of commercial breaks towards the last half hour 45 minutes of the show.
How's this for a little tidbit? Do you know who got the pin in that match?
Oh yeah, Matt Taven.
Last week's MVP, Matt Taven.
He pinned Big LG with the move they call Aurora Borealis.
So Taven has won what did he win a championship? Well, I forget where, but he won an independent championship this week, and he got the pin.
Oh, was it Revolver?
Yeah, I think so. And then he got the huge pin in the main event. So, I mean, I'm not saying.
I think they might be putting Mike Bennett and Taven. Might be a reason to break them off there too at some point to get. I think
Taven's going to get a push if he ends up sticking around.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't know what his intentions are, but I hope his intentions are to stay in Impact. I think he's enjoying the limelight.
My only point was to put us over, saying that he was our MVP last week, and he has now won a championship and got the pin on the main event of Impact. So, call it a fluke? I don't. We did skip this week's MVP because, like we said, we really love the Undead Realm thing, and that's not really a person. So, we'll get back to that next week. And wow, we are done in we're going to get under 20 minutes this week, Gary.
We might want to mention too, tonight is if I didn't mention it, the Derby City tapings are tonight.
Yeah, I think it's today or tonight.
Tonight, yeah, and I guess they were near sellout, so it's going to be a good crowd for the next 4 weeks.
Those are those tickets you were telling me about. That's right.
Yeah, the venue was those dotted pictures that they have. There was only maybe 10 of those left, and that was a while ago when I seen that. So I'm sure the walk-up crowd probably more than sold the rest of what was left.
I was just going to say that. Where were we? Where was it last time? With the awesome crowd for the last? What was it?
Center Stage in Atlanta.
Yeah, I hope the fans are just as good for next time. And man, awesome crowds with Center Stage. Really hope they go back there. I hope they make that their new, hometown, home base.
Tonight's is from Louisville, Kentucky, in the Paris Town Hall in Louisville. So,
and again, listen, just as some fans, not everything's going to sell out, but going to different places is huge. Simply for the point, I'm telling you, I used to watch this with WWE house shows and stuff, and it's insane how many fans will go to a show for the first time because it's a live show. Not house show for Impact, but how many fans will go to a show for the first time because it's not during the week, like AEW, for example. No one, not many kids are going to go to a show on a Wednesday night. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, too, for these tapings that we're having right now, they're advertising Kushida from New Japan and the Shelley versus Sabin match. I guess that's still on. I know they were reporting there was some
missing. You just beat me to it.
But
yeah, somebody reported that the match wasn't happening, and then the match is happening. So I don't know where they got that from. Again, it's just wrestling people making up, bullshit, because that's pretty much what wrestling journalism is these days.
And then for our good friend I think his name's Richard Robles, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He was talking about mention emergence, and it's like it's coming up, but it's like a month away. It's still pretty early for us to. There's not even a card, I don't think, other than like maybe 1 or 2 matches.
Yeah.
So
We'll talk about that next week, or maybe in the week after that, whenever it's coming.
I just thought I'd address that because it's we kind of tape everything a week, behind, because by the time we get to it, the show's already out, and then like we're a day old, we're like by the time our video get dropped, a new, like the new Impact is already kind of a strange deal a little bit, but works for us.
I just want to say one thing before we go, and that's if anyone out there doesn't like our podcast, we still want you to listen. That's about it. That just comes from a little talk I had with Dax from FTR today, who told me not to watch AEW if I have to criticize it. So I'm not. And I blocked him. And I blocked AEW today. And I'm done with them all.
Well, what my take on it is that he say don't watch. It's like, well, for me, it's not watchable. So
no, it's not. I mean, it's not. And then you're telling people not to watch. Like, yeah, you got it.
You got to watch.
I swear to God, it's a person I never would think of in life. Like, he's not a character to me. So like, I don't care, and I don't care if people take that the wrong way. But like, I care about characters that make me care about them.
Yeah, I just think he's kind of like comes off kind of like a this is a guy we used to have, Mike, Big Mike.
Oh yeah, he was awesome. I don't think he's that good though.
No, not that good, but I think that man
Elgin.
Is like Elgin. Dry a little bit, like a little
Elgin.
bit.
Elgin or Elgin, I forget how it's
pronounced. Yeah, Elgin. Yeah. No, I think Elgin's great, but
also did he murder someone? Because man, talk about disappearing from the world of wrestling.
He got involved in some kind of sexual scam or something, or was accused of it, and that's why Impact's never, he's kind of off limits at this point for pretty much anybody because they don't want the hot heat from that.
Gotcha. All right, well, how about we ended on some good news? Well, not good news for them, but Santana and Ortiz seem to be feuding, and Santana recently tweeted the date that his AEW contract ends, and how awesome would it be if they returned?
Oh, yeah. Well, from what I'm seeing, it doesn't look likely with Ortiz, from what I'm seeing.
Or just Santana, I'll take it.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, I've always been a bigger Santana fan anyway.
Well, he can talk, too, and wrestle, and kind of better look, I don't know. But now I have children bothering me because I'm babysitting, so we're going to have to cut it. We'll be back next week, everyone. Hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to check out those podcast places.
Take care. Have a good night.
Remember to keep it positive, at least when it comes to Impact.